Hey guys, welcome back. Todd Huey here with Lone Star Boars. It is about to be dove season in Texas. Dove season is the very opening of hunting season in Texas. It's the first time for a lot of people to get back out into the field, break out all their hunting gear, get their shotguns, and just all that cool stuff and everything that we enjoy to do. It's the time where things are going to start to cool off here in a couple of weeks, and a very exciting time. Dove hunting is a very social hunt. For me, I see friends that I grew up with that now this is the only time throughout the whole year that I actually get to meet up with them. And what we're going to do here is just show you and tell you a few things that you will, one, absolutely need, and then two, a couple of things that you can take along, a couple of techniques that you can use that will hopefully greatly improve your chances of success and making it a much better hunt. First and foremost, you need a Texas hunting license. Don't skimp on that. Don't be lazy. They're not very expensive. Every Walmart sells them. Every place that has an outdoor section carries hunting license. Go in and buy your license. It's not worth the trouble to not do that. Second of all, you're going to need a shotgun. It doesn't matter if it's semi-auto, pump, the gauge is not as important. Over and under, whatever it is, even a single shot shotgun will work. I prefer, like this one right here, semi-auto shotguns chambered in 12 gauge with a modified choke. That's what I prefer. It works very well for me, and that's what I use year after year. Also, for ammunition, there's several different choices in ammunition. You have heavy loads, you have standard loads, you have high velocity loads. The heavy loads have more shot in them, so it's a denser pattern when you shoot it. The standard loads are a little bit not as many shots, so it's not as dense, but typically faster. And then now you have what they call the high velocity shotgun shells that I've been seeing over the last several years. I prefer those high velocity shells, the Winchester high velocity shells. I think that extra velocity makes the lead on a dove is a very small and fast target, so for me it makes the hit percentage higher. Also, generally people use 8 or 7.5 shot on doves. I've heard many times people say use 8 shot the first couple of weeks. The doves are younger, the feathers aren't as thick, and it works well. For me, I'm a firm believer in 7.5 shot. I think it hits harder. There's less pellets, but the ones that do hit do more damage. I've had less wounded birds, less birds get away with 7.5 shot. Again, it's just my opinion, what I've seen over the many years of dove hunting, but that's what I recommend. Now, that's the only thing that you really have to have is your license, your shotgun, and your ammo, and a place to hunt. These other things are options that are going to make your hunt more enjoyable, more comfortable, and more effective. Camouflage, like what I'm wearing. Doves can see motion very well. When you're camouflaged, it hides that. If you will wear camouflage, use something like a mesquite tree or something in the background behind you to break up your pattern. They won't see you as well. Also, don't make any, when they're coming in, don't make any fast motions. Move slow, take your shotgun as they're coming up, shoulder it, and just shoot. None of this stuff, because if you do that, they're going to see it. They're going to start their evasive maneuvers or just totally veer off and not even give you a shot. So remember that. Camouflage, something behind you to break up your pattern if possible, and slow movements. Another thing that is very cheap and will make your life much more pleasurable is a seat of some kind. I actually like these 5-gallon buckets with the cushion top on them that rotate. They're cheap, they're comfortable. You can put extra shells around the edges here in the little pockets. When you're sitting on it, you can actually lead because the seat swivels, so you can lead the birds and not even have to get up. When you're scanning around, you can just spin around. With this, you're not sitting or kneeling down or standing all day. You're actually in a comfortable position with a padded seat. Another just side benefit is most of them come with a styrofoam cooler inside. You can have some ice, cool drinks, or cold drinks, snacks, and then when you're done for the day after you've cleaned your birds, you have something to carry your birds home in. Next up is a shell and game bag. This one is just a canvas bag. It has a snap. It just goes around your waist. You snap it together and you're able to carry 2 boxes of shells. And you have a game bag, so when you recover your birds, you're carrying them, you're not laying them down on the ground, they're not getting ants, bugs, or anything else on them. And also when you're done, you have these pouches to pick up your empty shells. And that's something that you really want to do. One reason is cows like the smell of gunpowders. If there's cattle on the property, they will come up after you leave and eat the shells. It will either kill the cattle or cost the rancher or farmer a very expensive vet bill to take care of that. So you don't want to do that. And also, even if there's not cattle, you don't want to leave these plastic shells just laying around. It's no different than throwing trash. Make sure you pick them up and just be courteous. Next up, decoys. These are just cheap plastic decoys. I think they're $10 for 6. They have a metal clip. You can clip them to a barbed wire fence. You can clip them to an old tree. You can put a stick in the ground and clip it to there. They don't do anything. They just sit there. But the doves will see these and they will feel more comfortable. They're thinking just like ducks or anything else, thinking there's birds already there feeding and it's safe. As the shooting starts and they get used to being shot at, these will help you even more because they will see that and feel more comfortable coming in. Another thing you can do with these is take 2 PVC poles or any kind of poles, stick them in the ground, run a wire across it, and you can create your own wire where you can hang these and they'll be up and they're even more visible. Next we have this. This is the Mojo dove decoy. It's a battery powered. See how the wings move? They create that motion. It looks like a dove that's landing. The dove can see that from a very long ways away. If you're in a good area, it's only going to make it better. If you're in an area where there's a flyway that's maybe on the next property where you can't get to, or your buddies are already set up and you just picked the worst spot, whatever, this will pull the doves in. They will see this from a long ways away, think it's a dove landing, come in and actually lock their wings like ducks do coming into decoys, and they will land around these things. I've watched them land around it. Not only does that provide you a better shot opportunity by bringing them in, they also slow down the land so it's an easier shot, so it's a win-win situation. These things really do work. I've been using them for a couple of years now, and it's amazing how they can turn something around when the doves aren't flying. These are a brand new Mojo product that I've never used before, but I've had such good success with that I decided to get them and try them out this year. I'm just showing it to you because I think it's going to work, and just letting you know what the options out there. But again, I have not ever used these, but it's the same principle as this. You're going to see the wings moving. It just doesn't have the body. It comes with several of them in a package. They have the white side and the black side, and what you do is you'll put out these decoys, your Mojo, and then these other little, they're called flickers, throughout your decoy setup, and it makes it look like birds are moving out there, flapping their wings, coming into land. It's just that extra movement that will bring the birds in. I'll try these out and I'll report back later, but I mean, just after the success with these over the last several years, I think this is going to be very good. You've heard me talk about flyways. If you can, scout the property before you come out. Doves will follow up landmarks. They go from the roost to the grain fields where they feed in the morning at sunup. After they feed, they come back generally to a pond and then go back to the roost. During the middle of the day, there's not much activity. They're back at the roost throughout the middle of the day. And then evening time, they leave the roost again. They go back out to the fields to feed, and then they come back to water. So every day they follow the same pattern. It might be a line of trees, it might be a power line, it might be a road, a windmill, if you got oil wells on the property, something, they find that and they use that and they use them as landmarks and they follow that same pattern every day. If you know that pattern, you just get in the middle of it or get in the end. If the fields, the grain fields are on your property where you're hunting, then you're golden, you get in that. These decoys, if you can't get close, will help pull them off. That's what they're for. In our experience where I hunt in West Texas, in the mornings, the grain fields are where you want to be. They come in there to feed, and it's good. If you don't have the grain fields, after they go there, they'll come to the pond next. So you can set up at the pond. They'll come in a little bit later, but they'll still come in there. Then the lunchtime, you go for lunch, the birds go to roost. You come back in the evening. The evening hunt for us, we set up on tanks, ponds, water sources. For whatever reason, the fields seem better in the morning and the water sources seem better in the evening. We have had great success at the water sources. Your area may vary, but everywhere I've been in Texas, that's been how we've done it, and it's worked very, very well. So feed sources in the morning, water sources at night, and you'll have a very successful hunt. I'm sure there's some things that I forgot to cover, or some tricks or techniques that people use that I don't even know about. If I left something out, or if you know of a trick that really works for you, please put it in the comments so people can learn. If you like this video, please like it. Please share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.